Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Hello, welcome friends, welcome to this NPTEL course on education for sustainable development. In the last class we have discussed about the importance and significance of ESD in our lifestyle, in our society, in our community, and how ESD can help us in achieving all the 17 SDG meant to be achieved by 2030 as per the UNESCO agenda. So, today we will continue with some of the case studies given here. So, there was a case study on measuring education for sustainable development experiences conducted by University of Bristol. Okay. So, the purpose of it has been actually scripted from the research net literature. So, University of Bristol what he did that it provides comparison to other methods of measurement and how measurement were used to engage the academics in considering the visibility of penetration of ESD into their teaching. So, they wanted to examine how ESD can be incorporated in the curriculum content and the educational institutes. So, for that reason they conducted the study, and like the method, the approach was like this. The textbook methods of assessing ESD penetration into the programs of study have limited the use of direct measures of sustainability visibility programs, but can be improved by interpreting the methodologies. That is, they adopted a combination of both the quantitative and qualitative methodologies that can produce the data which is useful for catalyzing the academic reflections. So, they that means they also combined effectively, that means the actual real life engagements with the academics and the students for the measurement method that showcase the good practice, how ESD can be practiced in our day to day activities in the academic institutions. So, they adopted a new method, both the quantitative and qualitative method, to measure the impact of ESD in their institute, that is in the University of Bristol. So, in September 2015, 117 world leaders also gathered in UN summit in New York to adopt this 2030 agenda, and the new agenda covers a broad set of 17 SDGs, 167 targets, and will serve as the overall framework to guide the global national development action for the next 15 years. So, that has already been described, discussed again and again. So, University Bristol actually conducted a survey and tried to combine both the quantitative and qualitative methods to incorporate ESD component both in the curriculum content and the practice and teaching practices, and they found that the combination of both the quantitative and qualitative approach can help us in measuring the impact of ESD on our sustainability approach. So, similarly, as we have already discussed that universal MDGs, that is the Millennium Development Goals. So, they also found that the Millennium Development Goals, the so called which were applied in developing countries. So, actually they mean that these SDGs were truly universal, because they found, the researchers, they found a lot of gaps, research gaps and implications gaps in the implementation of MDGs, and the gaps, that means they found from the analysis that some of the gaps are there and we are yet to achieve these kind of things, these kind of goals. So, therefore, they reframe it and formulate these SDGs, 17 SDGs, but which they consider these are truly universal framework, because it is that means it is meant to be achieved by all the countries. So, all the countries have progressed to make in the path towards the sustainable development. That means the universal consensus has been taken, that is all these SDGs, 17 SDGs are equally important, are equally vital for both the developing and developed nations. Okay. and in our path of achievement we have to face lot of unique challenges which are very peculiar to different countries in achieving many dimensions of SDGs. So, captured in the SDGs, that means in achieving the different targets of SDGs, we have to face lot of challenges which may be peculiar, may be unique in nature depending on the context, situation, then the environment and the culture, all kinds of things. But however, these SDGs, 17 SDGs are truly universal in nature. And again it has a transformative approach. These 17 SDGs, it has a transformative approach in the sense that it has an agenda, that is people, planet, prosperity, peace and partnership again. So, these 17 SDGs and especially the ESD is very transformative in the sense that it definitely it addresses this people, planet and prosperity. These are the three basic domains, but in addition these three domains, two more domains have been added, that is a peace and partnership. Partnership, that is a global partnership, and the peace, that is the peace in the environment, peace in the society, because these are the these two agenda are the utmost priority in the present day context. So, the 2030 agenda offers a paradigm shift, that is the initial domains of the peace, people, planet, prosperity to now is the 5 domain pyramid, 5 domain model which is completely different from the traditional model of development. So, hence it is called as a paradigm shift towards, because it provides a transformative vision for the people and planet. So, it is not just confined to people, planet and prosperity, that is social, economic and environmental issues, but at the same time we have to focus also on the peaceful society, peaceful and just society. In the last class we have discussed about the how to build a peaceful and just society, and the partnership. Being the global citizens, we have to build up the partnership because we are living in the same planet, in the planet Earth only. So, this transformative visions, it takes into account these 5 main pillars for achieving this SDGs, and it is more that means it is more people centric. It is like it has also added some other values and principles, like it also added the human rights based and gender sensitive approach in the sustainable development. So, they also critically evaluate this the MDGs, that is which were they thought that it was very narrow in its approach, narrow in its scope and opportunity and the outlook. So, and this SDGs, the 17 SDGs have replaced these MDGs, and the 17 SDGs are truly universal in nature and transformative in its approach, having the vision and mission for incorporating a peaceful and just society by introducing the human rights based policies and practices and gender sensitivity sustainable development programs also. So, again these 17 SDGs, like the 5 domain, 5 pillar SDGs are comprehensive in the nature, because whatever it has mentioned, elaborated in these 17 SDGs agendas with the targets, it is very specific and comprehensive. It clearly spells out that is the how we can achieve this more peaceful, just and inclusive society which are free from any kind of fear and violence. Now, looking at our present situation, current situation, environmental, social and cultural and economic environment all around the globe. So, we can that means we are witnessing a lot of conflicts, chaos, dissatisfactions and riots and terrorism, all kinds of. So, that is why now in the present context peace has become of utmost importance to us. How to build up a peace and just society, peaceful and just society, that should be more inclusive in its approach, in the sense that it incorporates, includes, allows and gives freedom to all people from all sectors and segments of life, walks of life, irrespective of their caste, creed, culture and gender or concern. It should be completely free from any sort of violence, any sort of riot, any sort of chaos and any sort of fear. So, therefore, with an attention to democratic governance, here the importance comes in again the democratic governance. So, here governance is very important. So, democratic governance. So, in this way the governance, rule of law, justice, personal security, that comes under SDG 16, as well as the SDG 17, goal 17, that is the global partnership to achieve these things. So, these 16 and 17 becomes more important in this framework, because that covers almost issues related to human rights, human rights including economic, civil, cultural, political and social rights, and the right to development. So, these why these 16 and 17 are very important, because they have, it actually helps the governments and the countries in achieving the SDGs in the framework of this 5 pillar, 5 domain, 5 pillar approach, like including people, planet, people, planet, prosperity, that is the peace and partnership. So, with this 5 pillar framework, so we can achieve these almost all the SDGs. Therefore, goal number 16 and 17 becomes of utmost priority, because it incorporates certain principles like the human rights, both the civil, cultural, political rights, and again gender equity, decent jobs, and all kinds of the equalities, and the principles of governance, and in inclusive society and justice. So, all these things, that means the values and ethics and the social morals are included to build up this global society, that is inclusive society. So, hence these SDGs, this 2030 agenda 17 SDGs are more comprehensive, because it clearly explains how to build a peaceful and just society, that should be inclusive in nature and which are free from any kind of chaos, violence and insecurities. So, the next is that again these SDGs are also inclusive. It includes all types of citizens, global citizens. There is no differentiation, there is no discrimination, there is no boundary, there is no there is no pillar, there is no gap, nothing. That means all these 17 SDGs are inclusive in the sense that means it envisages a world of universal respect for the equality and non-discrimination. So, because as we are claiming that we are the global citizens, then there should not be any kind of discrimination and differentiations. So, it is inclusive, truly inclusive in nature, because it includes not only gender equality, but also reaffirms that it is the responsibility of all countries and states, that is to respect, protect and promote the human rights without distinction of any kind of as to race, color, sex, language, religion, political environment, or the opinion of the or national or social origin, or property or birth, disability, or any kind of status, any irrespective of any discrimination, any differences. This is truly inclusive in nature, because it advocates for building a global world, that is the one planet, one globe. So, one universal domain, universal thing, that is which includes all the citizens, because all of us, we have to develop ourselves as the global citizens. So, it is truly inclusive in nature. Then the next is that irrespective of that means the framework is like from the disparity to dignity. So, how to achieve this framework? That means it was from the minus to plus, that is positive, that is from the disparity to dignity. So, talking about all kinds of inequalities mentioned, that means and issues of SDG 10 that offers the right based policy of proposals, that is to ensure the promise to this goal to be fulfilled. Then the social protection, health, education, taxation, then the pre-distributive policies such as employment, labor rights, financial regulation, monitoring, evaluation. These are some of the very significant domains under this. So these SDGs are truly universal in nature, and ESD gives it a kind of face of, you can image of, it is making it more comprehensive, more inclusive, more transformative, and more meaningful to global citizens in the present day context. So, how to achieve this by 2030, that is the main agenda, and ESD plays an important role. So, in this YouTube link you can also find out other details which have been which has been advocated, which has been said by the prominent world leaders and the UN professionals and the researchers and the stalwarts and those who are working in the area of sustainability. So, these audio, these video, YouTube videos also better clarify your our ideas and the thoughts. So, this is again another case study, the sustainable development not possible if the fellow humans are denied their rights. So, in order to emphasize on the human rights, thus even DESA's Liu Zemin has conducted also some of the studies, and they highlighted some of the points. Let us discuss on this. So, these are the 4 things, these are the 4 domains they found, that is even DESA Liu Zemin, that the universal declaration that it proclaimed that the inalienable rights of every human being regardless of the race, color, religion, sex, language, political and social origin. So, it is the most translated document in the world available in 500 languages. Okay. And thus Mr. Guetter also noted humanity's considerable progress over people around the world have gained progressively greater freedoms and equality. So, here they have also, researchers have also advocated for the how we have achieved, how we have been successful in achieving the greater freedom, equality, empowerment, that is, and then as opposed to discrimination and justice, and then the health, education, development, opportunity, etc. Also in these events also they speak about the specifically about the human rights and how to build, how to conduct different kinds of campaigns, organize different events to propagate it, to popularize it, all these things. And this DESA committee also, that it also emphasizes that the development will depend on the building the resilience of the poorest, most vulnerable and the furthest behind. That means again and other how to build up the capacities, competencies and the skills of our people, that is through enhancing their character strengths, like building resilience, bringing the positivity, positive optimism, hope, then brotherhood, then empathy, all kinds of the attributes, how it can be built in the process of human development. So, which can help and which can develop a kind of commitment and accountability towards the society, and also the countries, they will be able to provide the better healthcare facilities, then eradicate poverty, creating decent jobs and quality healthcare, education and achieving the gender equality. So, these are the these are the steps, these are the policies, these are the practices that can help us in achieving or coming closer towards this achievement of the SDG 17 SDG. So, it has been mentioned again and again that no quality education is possible without human rights. No quality education is possible without human rights. So, human rights education, so you can say it is also another tool, it is a tool for building the peaceful society, just society, so that which can be accountable to all kinds of global and the regional declarations, resolutions, etc. So, only by integrating the human rights only values into all aspects of our system starting from education, schooling to promoting the universal culture of justice, in our non-violence, equality, all kinds of values and ethics can be incorporated into our systems, be it system in the sense that be it education, be it health, be it social service, be it business, entrepreneurship. So, similarly, the Danish Institute of Human Rights, actually they have the Office of the High Commissioner of Human Rights, they have actually framed an indicator framework, that is the human rights education indicator framework. They have developed a framework and to measure the progress on national implementation of human rights education of that is the target 4.7. So, this Danish Institute of Human Rights, they have developed a HRE, Human Rights Education Indicator Framework, to be implemented in different schools, in different national context and different organizations, etc., to measure the national implementation of human rights education, to what extent we have been successful in not only implementing, but achieving this 4.7 target, that is the equal human rights to all. So, this Danish Institute of Human Rights is also working on the following aspects as well, like development of the guide, for developing a guide for integrating human rights in the environmental, social and health domains also for the impact assessment. Then again it also collaborates with other organizations with regard to the global oil and gas industries, environmental and social issues also. So, designing and facilitating the 2-day master class, they have also designed the 2 days master class in integrating human rights and its impact assessment in collaboration with some kind of the focus group, some kind of the community groups and community researchers, action researchers and community insight groups also. So, they have also elaborated on the methodology and the methodology development and the facilitation of sector wise impact assessment, like in different sector how we can implement, apply this instrument, how we can assess the impact. So, sector wise assessment can also be possible. So, they have collaborated with the Myanmar Center for Responsible Business and the Institute of Human Rights Business, and they have also elaborated on the methodology and its development of the development of assessments. So, developing the human rights implementation HRIA methodology toolbox, they have also developed a toolbox comprising of some of the practical tools, guidance and undertaking some steps, that means human rights implementation actions, some parameters, some steps for business projects. So, all kinds. So, this Danish Institute of Human Rights, they have actually developed a package, the human right inclusion and assessment, implementation and assessment methodology toolbox, which can be used by different countries in measuring the impact of this policy in the civil society. Another important component here is gender equality. So, gender equality is that empowering women, especially some of the countries unlike European countries or American countries, some of the countries like in Asian and some of the countries, and then gender equality, gender issues are very critical, especially we can see in India also gender equality, that means in previous way back in last 30 years before or just after independence era also, we were also witnessing this gender inequality in terms of birth rate, in terms of education, in terms of health facilities. So, how to remove this, because how to empower our women, especially promoting the gender equality in terms of sending the girls, encouraging the girls for the girls education, promoting the girls education and promoting gender equality for the sustainable development, like in ending all forms of discrimination against women, against girls, and it is not only the basic human right, but it also has a multiplier effect across all the development areas, because unless and until we give emphasis and importance on the girls education, women's safety, security, empowerment, educations, then we are not going to progress. No society can achieve all these things. So, hence gender equality since 2000 the UNDP also, United Nations Development Programs also, along with other UN partners like UNICEF and other agencies. So, they made this gender equality as a central to their work. So, even all of us, we know that UNICEF is also UNDP, and UNICEF extensively work on the impoverished and the backward section, and the gender equality is their central, is their primary and central to their work system, work schedule. So, that is why, so more and more how to send more and more girls to the schools, and of course, in the last 15 years we have achieved a lot of things. So, most regions have their gender parity in the primary education. Most of the countries, most of the states, even Indian states also, they have achieved, like Kerala has achieved 100% literacy and equal gender equality in education and health. So, women are now make up 41% of the paid workers. So, how the women folk, they are also coming into the main workforce. So, and 41% paid workers outside the agriculture, and compared to 35% in 1990s. So, our status, women's status, girls education, this kind of gender equality status has also improved, has also been enhanced. So, ensuring the universal access to again sexual and productive health related education, then affording the women equal rights to economic resources, education, health facilities, property, then ancestral property and different and how to that means and decent jobs for them. So and the place of women should be very dignified jobs, decent jobs for the women in the public office also. Now all of us, as we are witnessing more and more ladies, women are coming up in the not only in the UPSC services but in the technical services, in the health medical services they were already there, but in the technical services as well as in the UPSC services, administration, even in the political life also, political services also. So to strengthen the policies and the legislation for the greater gender equality. So unless and until we allow them, we empower them, we educate them, we provide them the opportunity, how can our society be very inclusive and very peaceful and very balanced and very you can say healthy and very you can say empathetic and conducive to all kinds of positive activities. So these are some of the examples, on the gender equality. So so these are some of the examples that you can. So the earlier Rauno was the first woman in the indigenous community to join the all female entrepreneurship. So now we have also witnessing the social networking platform, that is she economy is there. She economic other, that means which are some of the entrepreneurship, some of the organizations are completely managed by ladies only. So she economy, then the all female entrepreneurship project also on the beekeeping, and even in the rural sector, in the rural India also some of the NGOs are also working on the women empowerment, self financing, self help groups, then all kinds of things. That means that all the women communities are in terms of their local groups, even in the panchayatis also the women are also actively participating. So that is for the empowerment. So that means emphasizing on the all female entrepreneurship or all female focus group or female volunteers. That means to encourage them, to empower them, that they to build up a kind of confidence that yes, we can do it without help of male persons or the gents. We ourselves can also manage, can also able to achieve the competencies and complete our in actually they are also taking care of the household. So they are not they are quite skilled to manage the work life balance, or then to take care of the children or earning some money. So we want, ultimately the goal is that we want to empower the women and educate the children, because our future generation will be educated, future generation will be not only be enlightened, educated, self sufficient and competent, but that means we can build up a sustainable society as well. So not only to build up the confidence, and on the basis of in the background, in the backdrop of everything, that is education is important, because education can bring good health, education can bring empowerment, education can bring self sustainability, education can bring that mindset and paradigm shift in our living style, approach child care, starting from the child care to health care to business to entrepreneurship to technology and innovation as well. So these are some of the that means these links is also there. You can also find out more YouTube links on these things. So how to, so the United Nations Trust Fund and to end the violence against women has supported some health organization in Tanzania to launch the awareness. So these are the examples to raise for awareness raising and advocacy program aiming at the FGM practices. So these are the two examples given here. You can also explore more examples. So we are talking about some of the examples, some of the projects being carried out by the women entrepreneurs, and different government agencies. Similarly, 2011 Gender and Development Index parameter, according to the Gender and Development Index placed in Ethiopia in 17th placed in Ethiopian 117th position out of 187 countries. So their men are favored, it's a case study, that men are favored over the women with regard to food, healthcare and education. So agriculture is a livelihood source for the majority of the rural women. So there was a joint program of gender equality and women empowerment and when the rural economic women economic empowerment component has been advocated. So, the SDG fund programs on the rural women's economic environment has been developed to accelerate the economic empowerment of the rural women in two regions, that is Afar and Oromia. It has been developed as a separate and differentiated component of joint program on gender equality and women empowerment. So, implemented by the government of Ethiopia and UN agency as coordinated by the UN Women. So, United Nations Women branch, women section, they have organized, and most of the cases you can say we can witness, we can see, we can find it in primarily in African countries. So, Ethiopia and some other African countries also. So, these kind of situations are there, and that is why the United Nations Action Force they have taken the drastic step, very significant, a very vital approach, important approach to address these issues in backward countries or the underdeveloped countries. So, this is an example that we are discussing how both the gender equality and women empowerment can be taken care of simultaneously if you we want to achieve the SDGs. So, these are some of the examples. Now, this is also the YouTube link also you can get it. Then I have also given so many references which can help us to better clarify the things, because this has been detailed out like on the research paper, even declarations, all kinds of material, learning materials are there. You can go through it and you can better clarify the thing is that. The thing is the need, we are all of us, we are aware of all these things. The thing is that we need to change our attitude, behavior, we need to immerse in that lifestyle, that process of consumption, production. So, then only that means we want to immerse in such a way that automatically after some time, some practice, it becomes a habit, it becomes a part of our personality attributes, personality characteristics, it becomes an habit. So, that is how to develop that habits of learning for sustainability and for living a sustainable life and developing and building a sustainable society. So, the next class we will discuss about the other topics, other issues. Thank you.